Well, there's where the Ford was sitting. I've been trying to clean up the filthy mess from that thing. So we're on the Paccar now. I gotta get the hood off. And here's the plan, guys. On this MX-13 Paccar. Oh, oh, this must be the telephone company with their ripper or something in here. Anyway. On this Paccar MX-13, what we got to do here is we're going to have to pull the engine out, and we're going to have to pull the head off, send the head up to the machine shop, and the rest of it's pretty well garbage. I had to get a short block, and the reason I had to do that is because this has fractured main caps on it. So with this fractured main cap, there ain't a whole lot you can do here with line boring. You're kind of screwed a little bit. So anyway, we've got to get the short block. I don't know much. I'm not a machinist, but I don't know. Is there a way you could build this up and then turn it back down is what I was thinking, but maybe that's not possible. Maybe you'd have to do that to all of them. But from what everybody told me, they said it has fractured main caps. You can't machine it. So, because, they're fractured, so this has to be a matching set with what's on the block. So with a machined main cap, you could just buy another main bearing cap and just send them the new main cap on the block and just have them line board, put the crank in it, put oversized bearings back in it, and away you go. But you can't do it with this one. So we got a short block coming out of Rockford, Illinois, and I'm going to go ahead and get the hood off right now and start gutting this thing. We're gonna try like the Dickens here today to get the engine out of this thing. I don't know if I'll get that far or not, but we'll let's put you guys right over here. The thing nice about this newer camera, I actually got a there we go. This. Yes, didn't get much better working on a 389, especially with a little engine in it. Extended hood. Yeah, look at all the room back here. This is nice. Makes them nice to work on. Okay, so should kind of just pop on out of there. Okay. Look at all this room. This is really nice. Okay, I gotta get the supports off. I gotta cut these zip ties here. Yeah. Okay, let me gather up some tools here. Okay. Party bonus, Wayne. What was that movie? What the hell was that movie? It was a stupid movie back in the late 80s or early 90s. It wasn't Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It was Wayne's World. Remember that shit? Wayne's World. Party on, Wayne. Oh, the good old days. Okay, zip the fan off, throw it down, pull this bracket here off. Okay, that will require the use of a 9/16 socket. I was trying to teach some young lads the other day. They said, "What size bolt is that?" I said, "That's a 1/2-inch bolt." He came over and grabbed me. He came over and gave me a 1/2-inch in wrench. I said, "No, a 1/2-inch bolt takes a 3/4 in wrench, young man." He said, "You said 1/2 inch." I said, "That's the size of the bolt." That's not the size of the head of the bolt. Oh. Gotta learn them everything. I'm gonna try to get this out of there today, and then I'm gonna knock the piss out of that Hemi tomorrow and get it out of here. That's my goal. Kick her right in the teeth. Lay this here fan right up against this here radiator. Yeah. All this stuff will be going on the short block. I mean, we'll have to strip everything off this engine and put on that engine. It's still quite a job. So, you know, being that's a short block engine, I don't know, coming out of Rockford, Illinois, so it's going to be a while before it gets here. But I got to get my ass in gear and get this head off to the machine shop. That way, hopefully, Kerry up there, Diesel Cast West, is not waiting on me, and he can get his end done. So which way is going to be the easiest way to do this here? Get the camera over here. What's going to be? It seems like there was 2 bolts down there on this one, and then what do we got over here? Would it just be easier just to take those 2? It's a little bit different than it hooks on ISX. Kinda would like to, might as well just pull that upper radiator hose clear off of there. Kinda like to leave this alone, because the lifting eye is hooked onto that, and I'm gonna need that. So maybe, wait a second. Well, that lifting eye is not being held right there anyway. Those 2 slotted holes, all they're doing is holding this bracket on. The lifting eye is actually held on by these. This is holding the lifting eye right here. So doing this ain't gonna change anything. So we can rip that off of there. Let me get a socket and rip this off, and then upwards and onwards. Well, I've never had one of these out, but just looking at it, just a common sense, practical way of looking at things. Obviously the fuel line is going to have to come off from here to the fuel filter. And then I think a guy's going to have to cut these zip ties right here. And then there should be an air fan clutch solenoid right there. You'll have to we'll unplug that line right there. Might as well cut this zip tie right here, holding that. And I'll have to go back together with this thing. You'll go through a whole bag of zip ties, putting everything back together. And then, of course, you know, this harness here is going to go up to your bulkhead. I know this for a fact just from doing all the retrofits, so I'm pretty familiar with what I need to take off. And then the harness is going to go down here too, hook in back here, all those wires. Well, it's a nice thing about these, this is a new enough truck that all the stuff all has the labels still on it. It's pretty simple, really. So air conditioner's discharged, so I can take that fitting loose right there on the bulkhead. Would be the easiest thing. I'd like to just kind of unhook everything right there, you know, and then just once I swap it over to the other engine, boom, just swap it over. But a lot of it's going to be taken off when I pull the cylinder head as well, so there's always that. So I'm debating, should I pull the head here or just pull it out there on the ground? I'm not really sure what I should do there. This doesn't really matter. What should I do here? Should I pull it here or pull it there? I guess I got a pretty good engine stand right here. I could pull the head right now and get a lot of this. Look at all the garbage. That's what I don't like about these Packars. They're almost like that. They're almost like that Max Force piece of shit over there. There's just too much bullshit on them. You look at an ISX, the side of it, and it's way cleaner engine than this is. I mean, this thing's just got tubes and wires and hoses and just valves and shit all over it. You know, it's just an over-engineered conglomerated pile of shit is what it is. You know? Anyway, I'll quit my bitching about this pile, and I'll, the truck itself is nice, but it's what they decided to put in it as an engine is not very good. And the bell housing hook's way back here. Some little water valve there, going back to the, I'm sure that's going back to the SCR. Oh, Steven, you got a bad coolant leak right there. See that red down there? Is the camera picking that up? See that red coolant down there? Oh, we gotta fix that. That is not good. Okay, well, I think that's my game plan. I think I'm just gonna pull the head off right now and then pull the engine out. Nah, maybe not. Ah, fuck it. I'll just pull the head on the ground. Had to get the torch out, and these motor mount bolts back here are external Torx heads. And that one, the one towards the inside, towards the front, man, that sucker wouldn't come out of there. And then this wouldn't come off either, with the low side AC line came onto it, and I had to heat the living piss out of it to get it loose too. I hate doing that to AC lines, but that's tends to happen quite a bit on a low side line with all the moisture, the sweating. Alright, I think I'm getting really close. So now what I got to do is get the transmission unhooked from the engine. But I got underneath there and looking. I got a clean bucket there that actually had transmission fluid in it. I need to dump that oil, and I'm gonna have to pull that. This one's got a PTO wet kit on it, so I'm gonna have to pull the pump off and then pull the drive off. Trying to figure out where I'm gonna get my bucket in here somewhere to get underneath it. Yeah, maybe I ought to go in this direction. Wires and wires and more wires on these things. The newer the trucks, man, the worse it is with the wires. Holy shit, these things got some wires on them anymore. Alright, maybe I can go in through here with my bucket. Seems to be the lowest spot to get to. I don't even know. We'll see what the condition of this oil is. I'll be changing it anyway, if we can get oil. Okay. I'm gonna figure out a place to go here. There's that other main bearing cap bolt. So we don't really give a shit about that because we're getting a short block. This bracket here goes over here by the starter and holds all the wires up. There we go. I got her under there. I got to get a transmission jack under there. I mean, I could put some stands under there, but I don't feel comfortable with it. I'm afraid it would roll. I've had damn transmissions, I've had them roll on me before, and just these transmissions here, they're too damn heavy to take a chance with. When they hit the ground, usually shit's really fucked up because they're so heavy. Alright, well, there's the other main bearing bolt for the cap. Okay, let me get a 1/2 inch drive and get the oil plug out of the transmission. Okay guys, so we got the transmission jack underneath the transmission, supporting the transmission. All the bell housing bolts are out. Before I forget, I better unhook transmission temp sender wires going down to there. We better unhook that. We'll forget about it and rip it out of there. So I'm gonna have to pull this rocker box cover. Is that what it is, or is it? I guess you could call it a rocker box cover. How does this? Am I going about this right? Don't know. Let's see if I'm doing this right or not. Yeah, there we go. Seems like there's, like I said, there must be a whole group of engineers that's all they do every day. Try to figure out how to design a different kind of plug-in. You know, wow, okay. Not sure if that's even right or not. Let's for the J-Kids, and I have set my light down somewhere. I left it under here, okay? Or is that the big light? That's the big light. I don't know what I did with the other light. Well, I guess I'll grab it. Oh, I know what I did. Went to the shitter, and I stuck the magnetic base on the shitter door, and it's still in there. I'll grab another one here. That was probably more information than you needed to know. But there it is. Okay, so these are the, obviously, there's only 2 of these, so those obviously have to be the J-Kids. How does that come unplugged? 13 EPA 10s, that's pretty much the same deal, but except they're vertical. The 10s went in this way. And these things on the 10s get brittle, and man, they just come apart in 1,000 pieces. Alright, then we gotta get it. I got this one sensor here unplugged, so I can maybe try to get my fingers on this, the actual main part here, to unplug that. Okay. Alright. Okay, so 10mm, zip these off, and my idea is to probably pull the rockers and the push tubes and the valve bridges, and maybe use a rocker shaft bolt hole in the head there to put a lifting sling on. So I was trying to get the rocker box off, but as you can see, these guys definitely, how can I say this in the most politest way possible? These guys definitely got some interesting way of doing things. They've got this bracket, or heat shield, and it goes over the top of the rocker bolts on these 2 holes right here, and you can't get it out of there because of this, what would that be, the EGR valve in the way? This is the cooler, yeah, it's EGR valve. So, yeah, interesting, huh? So I'm in the process of completely disassembling that. Had a DD15, like you guys have seen me work on that truck before. It's a green Western Star log truck. He had a couple coolant lines, 2 coming off the front side of the compressor that go to the block. They were leaking coolant around the fittings where the O-rings, where it slides onto the fitting, just got hard and flat, you know, and was leaking around the quick connect fitting there. Oh, don't break, please don't break. So early this morning, before I came down here, decided to go ahead and knock that out. I thought, well, you got to take a few brackets off and stuff to get in there and get to them. But I got them off on the one hose. One of the hoses, the outside hose, was wrong. It was too short. And then I changed the fittings, which kind of ended up being a kind of a pain. The fitting on the inside towards the block on the head of the compressor, it just pulled all the threads off. And I mean, I worked it back and forth and kept spraying. I could feel it, you know, and I told him, like, he was standing right there. And I said, man, I hope it doesn't pull all the threads out of this. And it didn't look very good. We got the new one in there and it tightened up, so. It's one of those things. He said, I'll check on a compressor while I'm over there, because he went back over there to Medford to see if they had see if they, you know, worst case scenario, he wanted to have, this guy here, he likes to try to plan ahead if he can. And anyway, he went over there and they said they're on back order, can't get them. Let's grab an impact wrench, maybe, and do things a little bit quicker there. I had a 10mm socket somewhere. But he's on his way back from Medford right now as we speak with I guess the hose was labeled as the right one with the right part number on it, but somebody put the wrong hose with the wrong tag on it. Which happens, I mean. Can't get too wound up about that, I guess. Now, I don't think that's bolted anywhere there, is it? It's just kind of sitting on there, so far, this ain't too bad to get off of there. Gaskets in there, but supposedly there's an install kit for this short block engine that I got coming, but being as our part situation is what it is, if we're gonna have to reuse something, let's not lose this stuff. I mean, we have to think about those kind of things now very seriously about not being able to get parts. So that shield should come off of there now, but I gotta find, I'll lay it here on my truck for now. Something just fell off. That goes in the eye of the clamp. Okay. What are we doing here? See how it's a little tricky. Okay. Well, yeah, that was seems like somebody could have found a different way to do that without having to do all that just to get the rocker box off. So I guess when you're going to change a rocker box gasket or something on one of these, or pull the rocker box, you might as well plan on a couple gaskets for the EGR. Alright, I gotta find the 7/16. It's up here now. I got stuff scattered everywhere. This should do the trick. I believe all the bolts are loose now. Yes, okay. I don't know what it is. I could probably do it from over there, but for some reason I always like to be on the driver's side of the truck. I don't know why that is. I don't really have a logical explanation for that. It just seems like that's where my body wants to be. It's not gonna stay there, is it? Yeah, maybe. I am hard on cameras, man. And lights and everything else. Am I gonna have to take that off too? Can I get past it? I don't think I'm going to get past that. I'm sure it's more plastic shit to break. Oh yeah, I can hear it trying to. Yeah, there's a like a, oh, I don't know what you call them, protrusions on that side are sticking out. So that ain't gonna. What a piece of shit this thing is, man. What a pile of shit. The guy that designed this needs a good swift kick right in the ball sack until he fucking coughs up blood. So this bracket's got to come, or this tube here at least, and then there's a bracket there holding this tube up. there are a lot of places for this thing to leak, I'll tell you that much. Okay. Not too sharp. Not too sharp of thinking there. Yeah. Like I've mentioned before, the old time engineers that developed the old stuff did it with a slide scale and mathematics. Now all they have is computer programs to design stuff for them, and it doesn't make any freaking sense at all. There's no human common sense factor in the whole equation to any of it. It's all just a bunch of computer junk is what it is. This is a prime example of that. Yeah. Started picking on it. Problem is it this? I think I just need to take this, get my other lift and eye. What I'm doing is this lift, where they got the lift and eye are higher here, and the straps are the same length, so I'm not picking up square and it's picking it up like that because it's lifting on this one first. So I think I'll just get another lift and eye and hook it in here somewhere. I don't like that. Might be holding me off now. Ah, shoot. Pull back in a little bit, I forgot. Yeah, that wasn't very smart. That was not very smart there. I don't know what possessed me to think that we need to take the return line off. How do these things come off here? Quite a bit of tension on that. Jeez. And it broke. Plastic, more plastic fucking garbage, man. guys saw how gently I touched it. I didn't pull on that thing hardly at all, and it just snapped. See if I can get a new retainer for that, I guess. I don't know why I did not pull the return line off. Kind of a bonehead thing. Bonehead. Now, this lower neck is hitting this cross member. That's the problem now. Okay, cool. I wonder if I can go up with the transmission and this to go. Let's try it. Definitely gonna have to re-pick it when I go back together with it, because I don't like that one bit at all. Not setting level, and then it's pitched, so it's just not right. But it'll work to get it out. We need to do better going back in. Darn it. This, I forgot. It's got a grease line on it. I forgot about that. Cummins is way easier to pull out, I'll tell you that, than this thing is. Just so many sensors and shit all over this thing. Wires, plumbing, and things like that on this old girl. There we go. We're getting to see something now, huh? Let's see. There we go. Okay. One less thing to hang me up. I can see underneath here if anything else is attached. I'm gonna be ripping out of there when I start lifting on it. I don't think so. Just go a little bit at a time and keep checking it. needs to be cut. One thing after another. Oops. I managed to do that. Okay, we get some blocks or something, set it on there for now. I got a stand over there, but I don't know if this thing's gonna work on that stand I got. It was kind of made for a ISX and an E model cat, so